hashtag, and then I'll put justice for, and it used to show it. Forget the hashtag. There it is. So if you guys have never seen this before, if you go on your Instagram and you put justice for, and then you put the hashtag sign, it's an endless scroll of names of people to get justice for. It never ends. There's so many, it never ends, justice for. And when you put justice for into Twitter, it's the same result. Every time you put hashtag justice for, there are thousands and thousands of names, and the people who are killed by police, it is underreported each and every year by the thousands. One of the estimates that I heard after George Floyd was murdered and Breonna Taylor was killed in 2020, in 2021, I remember hearing a statistic that up to 7 people a day are killed by the police in some fashion, whether that be through being put into a dungeon where you're not giving your medication, or whether you die during the detainment process, or you die during the transportation process. And so that's why if you just go on Twitter or you go on Facebook, Instagram, in any social media platform, and you type the words justice for, there's just it's a never ending, it just keeps going. And there's so many of them. There's so many people who are killed by the police, and the cop will get transferred, or he'll lose his job, or there'll be a real stink around that town for a while. I think though we're all seeing plain as day that Botham Jean, for example, Amber Geiger, who went into his house and shot him on his couch. She went to the second floor. She lived on the first floor. She didn't like him. They didn't have a good relationship. But the point is, and then the guy who killed George Floyd got 20 years. He'll do 10 or 12 if he has to do 85% of his time. We only hear about the anomalies. And Zach Wester out of Florida, who planted drugs on 100 people or so, and all of them pled guilty. He got 12 years in prison, and he ruined people's lives. One woman's mother died because they got her out of jail instead of paying for her medication. So she bailed her daughter out of jail instead of paying for her. She was on a fixed income, and then she couldn't afford her medication, and so she died. It's really crazy stories out of these police who kill people in America, and they are just they're a simple hashtag. They're a simple hashtag on Twitter. They're a hashtag. And, you know, I've shared a video of a guy in a mausoleum who really sits there and explains and breaks down. But what I want to do is I want to show you what's going on there in Huntington, West Virginia. And I want to show you guys a couple videos because Opal and Jesse and Laney Hudson's family is still protesting. They are still actively going out and trying to get justice for Laney in a world where the police are the first responders to the people who they kill. In a world where the police are the ones who are going to respond to the scene where one of their officers has killed somebody, and then they're there to do the cleanup and hide the investigation. It's just the gig is up. The cameras and the connection and social media are showing us that this is what's happening, that they're getting away with murder. The very simple question, why aren't cops sequestered after they kill people? Why are their body cams turned off? Why don't we get immediate access to those body cameras? We're not going to interrupt your investigation by watching the body cam footage. I don't understand how the people can't see the body cam footage, how that messes up your investigation. 1 second. Yo, Octavia, I'll get you 1 second. So I want to keep Laney Hudson's name alive. I want to keep her spirit alive like her family is doing. As long as her family and her friends are going to continue to fight, we have an outlet where 5, 10,000, 15,000, maybe 20,000 people will watch this video over this next year, maybe more, hopefully. But I want to share some videos that the family sent me so that you guys can see that they're still fighting. They're still fighting for justice for Laney. They're still fighting for this little girl's spirit. Jeff Racer needs to face the music of what he's done. Accountability. We don't have, and why don't we have accountability? Because we don't have any transparency. Where are the cameras from the stoplights? They don't work. The black box, it didn't show anything. Well, what about the first responders? They swept him off the scene so no bystanders could see. There's no transparency. There's no justice. So the family sent me some videos, and I want to share these with you guys so you guys can see what they're doing out there. And they're still fighting. They're still fighting. They're still out there trying to get justice for this little girl. And so as long as they're doing it and there's air in my lungs, then I'm going to share the videos that I get, because I don't want this little girl's memory to just be washed away. So Laney Hudson, I don't want to end up a hashtag that we never see justice for her death, her wrongful death, which is what you would want me to do for you, which is what you would want your cousin to do for you, what you would do for your cousin, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your husband, your wife, your family member. If you were me and you had a platform that 60,000 people watched or subscribed to, I would feel like it's your obligation to do exactly what I'm doing now. This is for Laney Hudson. I'm not sure if you heard or not, but he said, "You have my word." Put a 1 in the chat if you don't trust these cops at all. Put a 1 in the chat if his word means absolutely bupkis to you. He could promise on his mother's soul. It wouldn't matter anything to me. How do you hit someone and do that much damage to the vehicle, is what she asked. Oh, did you hear what he just said right there? He said, that's beyond my pay grade. If you guys have been a subscriber here for a while, how many times have you seen me travel the country and heard a cop say, that's beyond my pay grade, that's not something I can do? So this seems to be something they teach them when they get together and they all say we'll cover for each other when they go to the Fraternal Order of Police. I'm not in charge. It's not me. If y'all can't hear the video, neither can I. It's very low. Unfortunately, I need a new computer. My Premiere Pro, for some reason, when I get it on my system, I'll get the volume turned up. But right now, this is all we can hear. I can hear as much as you can. So I'm listening with my ear real close, and then I'm trying to tell you what I'm hearing. And he said, I'm not in charge. Of course you're not, bro. It's not you that did it. You have no responsibility for signing up to the Death Star. It's not you, dude. You're the good guy. Thank God for you. If it wasn't for you, man, I'd feel really bad that the police were around at all. The cops are telling them they can protest, but they can't do it in that parking lot right there. That's Opal right there on the right. That's Laney's mother. It's all the handshaking. He's trying to tell them the best way for them to be heard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do what you're going to do, but be respectful. Respect us. We put torture cuffs on people. We drag people down to the dungeon where it's a rape cage. We then strip search them and look up their backside. We treat them like their lives don't matter. We deny them their medication. But remember, I'm not in charge. That's above my pay grade. It's not me. Respect us. Just don't be disrespectful. Your child's dead? Just don't be disrespectful to us. The best thing about the camera isn't just that it gives you the superpower to be able to flex your rights. It lets you see that this organization literally creates mind distortion. These people are part of the evil empire that killed this woman's daughter. I'm not sorry. That is just the simple fact of how it is. Now they're telling her, make sure you're respectful. After they whisk their cop away off the scene, 1 second. We had a malfunction with the player. It just decided to malfunction. So let me reshare this real quick. Just gonna relaunch this. Okay. So here's you're gonna see the first couple seconds one more time again real fast, but then you'll get to see right where we left off. So sorry about that. These people don't understand. You don't have to get a permit to protest. Ha! Ha! Oh, no, no, they're not laughing. It's actually just astonishing that now that you guys have seen me tour the country and you're watching this here, every single cop in the land says the exact same thing. We're not going to get into this. We're not going to talk about this. I'm not going to debate this right here. I'm not going to answer any questions. I'm not going to go down that road with you. That's above my pay grade. And all she's asking is who administered the breathalyzer test to Jeff Racer Jr. Opal's asking a very logical question. I would like justice for my baby. So who was the person that said that he was sober? Who was the person that drove him away? Where did they take him? What were those minutes like when Laney was on the cold ground and they were driving Jeff Racer away to the safe house? What safe house did they go to? Did they go back to the police department? Did they go to his house? Where did they go? These are fair questions that Opal's asking, and there's no reason why this copper can't answer them. The only reason he can't answer them is because it's a cover-up. And I think everybody's seeing it plain as day. Oh, yeah? Okay. Who did it? So he said that they did do a field sobriety test, so he is answering questions, that they did a field sobriety test. And I think she's asking, well, who did it? Who did that field sobriety test? It's an active investigation. Like how long do these freaking cop tards take to get an investigation done when they're already saying there's no camera footage and there's no nothing? I've told you before, everything's being handed over to the prosecutor's office in, I think he said Buckingham or something like that. How long does your investigation take, Copper? I mean, just take a look at that guy. That guy's security. He's the help. If things go wrong, that's the guy in charge of your constitutional rights. That guy right there. You think maybe we need to change the profession a little bit? This guy runs in, says he's in charge. What? 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 I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did he just say? Nothing's being held from you other than the receipts, the cameras from the bars or establishments they went to, the Ring camera network that works in every different city in America, and people have Ring cameras. You know, every bit of evidence that there is that shows that Jeff Racer was impaired, the sweeping him off. We're not hiding anything from you. Of course you are. So the reason why I'm here right now is because you coppers are hiding the truth. If you simply arrested the man, it would be a blip for the coppers. Laney would still be gone, but it wouldn't be as bad. You guys would be taking care of your business because this guy was impaired, and none of this would be happening to you coppers, and you wouldn't have to I wouldn't even have a role. There'd be no role for me. I'd be doing something else right now. But instead, I'm doing this because the absolute blatant and this listen. Put a one in the chat if you don't believe him. Put a one in the chat if you think he's lying. You hear what he just said? He just said nothing's being held from you. Okay, good. I mean, I just want to hear him say it again, just for fun. Everything's on camera, audio, and video, then just release it. If everything's on audio and video, then the breathalyzer must have been audio and video, and just release it. We don't need your investigation. Release the body cam footage of Jeff Racer getting a breathalyzer. Release all of the camera footage that you guys have collected from around the neighborhood, from the city, from the places they went to. Release his credit card receipts and Hannah's credit card receipts. Do that. Here's the deal. If they didn't want to help her, they wouldn't even be doing the investigation. Laney, who? Who cares? If we didn't want to help you, we wouldn't investigate that little girl's death at all. So we're just helping you out. Oh, the logic. And we're doing it right. And we're doing it right. What a liar. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he's lying. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that filthy copper is sitting there just lie after lie after lie. Just put a 1 in the chat. We got another one. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that filthy copper is lying and you think he's lying his booty off the entire time he talks. Just, hey, Copper, you're a liar, bro. And now they have to flee the property or they're going to be trespassing. And so they're going to have to, but she's not done protesting yet. A couple more here. Let's see the last one. She said she wasn't leaving and she was going to protest. And we hear you, Opal, Jesse, uncles, friends, family of Laney Hudson's. We hear you. This video will be seen by thousands of people. We hear you. This stuff's going to get you worked up, so I'm not going to let my emotions get the best of me because I already did this for Brandon Ellingson. I already cried 1,000 tears for a boy I didn't know, Brandon Ellingson, Ellingson. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to say hello to people in the chat. How you guys doing? Paquito Moss, Gloria. What's going on, Gloria? Silent Otter, how are you? You have rights, cops have duty. Good to see my friend DJ Smith. Good to see everybody. How is everybody? I do got to get the flock out of here pretty soon. Rights On, good to see you, my friend. Rights On is here. Why would you, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. It's all good. Good to see you. Redneck, what is going on, Redneck? How are you? Good to see you guys. Daddy G. Gordon, good to see you. Nice to see everybody. It is good to see everybody. Looks like Wolverine has come back into the chat. Tracy, yo, Mike, Ed, Liberty Radio, Net Liberty Radio. I guess I always get the name or mess up. Bruce, what's going on? How are you? Delete Lawz clips. Okay, so I just had to take my mind somewhere else there just for a second and give a shout out to a few people and say hello. Justice for Laney. Don't stop. Don't stop. Chase it down. The people there in Huntington chase down his steps. The cops won't do it. You'll have to do it. Do the investigation. Go talk to people who have Ring cameras up and down that street. Go knock on their doors. It's not that big of a town. You have to do the investigation yourself. Remember, when I had gone up to Youngstown, nobody had investigated James Sheets' investigators. And when I went there and I blew that place up, and when the body cam came out, it sure does look like they planted a gun. And now they're not releasing the body cam footage, and we filed FOIAs. You got to get the footage yourself. You got to go get it yourself. All right, I got to get the flock out of here. Listen, I got nothing but love for you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. There's the family fundraiser right there. I'll go hard on a fundraiser another night. I got stuff I got to do. So first of all, I've got to get my computer fixed. I can't edit anything right now, so I'm pull my hair out. But listen, I got nothing but love for you guys. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. Oh, and oh, by the way, just a quick update. If you guys have not followed me on the fasting, I've released a fasting video, and I began my fasting journey on January 1st, officially January 2nd. I am a little over 15 pounds down since January, and all I'm doing is eating once a day. If you guys haven't seen that, I suggest you take a look at that. Top one. All right, I'm going to go. We don't stop. I'll see you guys on the next one. Mikey B. Later, Gators.